All right, so going back into our reports, I'm going to go into data management and reports once again. And we're going to talk about Report Writer a little bit. So again, Reports Classic, you can use, I won't stop you, but my preference is to use Report Writer. Report Writer is a newer tool, and it has a lot more options. You can pick and choose which columns you want to pull into reports, and you can really granularly filter those reports. The other reason I like to use Report Writer is so that I can create report shells for you guys, and those are called syndicated reports. So a syndicated report is basically a report shell that we at National have created for you. Report Writer is really great in that you can kind of pick and choose which columns go into those reports and which filters you use in those reports. But we've already done that work for you. We've actually created these report shells. All you have to do is come in and run the reports. However, if you do want to customize them, you can copy them and make them your own, and I'll walk you through that in just a minute. But we have about 18 reports here for your 2013 walks. You don't have to run all of them, I promise. You can kind of pick and choose. But there's, some great detail reports here. So your cross-event registration report is going to give you a list of all of your walkers across your chapter. So every walker for every walk in your chapter. Your walk registration detail report is going to give you per walk, so you can only choose per walk. And the reason why is it's going to give you all of the event registration summary information, not summary, survey information. So when people register, we ask them questions like, what t-shirt size do you wear? Is this your first year at walk? How did you hear about us, etc., etc. You can only get that information out in this detail report, the 03 walk registration detail report. 04, the walk donations report, will give you a list of every single donation that comes in. That will also include your sponsorship donations. And then your 05 team report will give you a list of all teams. So if you're doing any call downs or you're trying to see who's come back from year to year, these are great reports to run. The 02, 03, 04, and 05. After that, we've got some companies reports. I won't go into too much detail. Your coaching email reports. If you're sending your coaching emails, you can run that report to see how they're doing. Check your open rates and click-through rates and see how many people have registered as a result of sending those emails. And then we've got 10 through 13. We've set up some filters in the registration report to show you which walkers are $0 walkers. We've got a 1 to 99 bucket, a 100 to 499 bucket, and then your Champions Club members, that 500 plus walkers group. So you can easily run those reports, again, for call downs or for day of walk. If you want to make sure that you're giving your champions medals, you can run this 500 plus walkers report and have that list in front of you. There's an email opt-out report. If you're concerned that people have opted out of email, you want to see how many people in your chapter have opted out of email, you can run that report and check it out. There's also a merchant and transaction detail report. This is a good report to run to help you reconcile between Convio and your bank account. That's why that was set up. And then number 16 is an important one, a walk sponsorship report. So for all of those sponsorship donations that you're entering, I keep calling them sponsorship donations, I'm sorry. The sponsorship transactions or sponsorship payments that you're entering, you can run this sponsorship report and it will show you a list of all your sponsorships. A list of all companies as well. And then the one that people keep asking me about the most so far this year is number 18, the 2012 teams that have not yet returned. So as you all know, we linked, when we created your events again this year, we linked them to the last year's event so that whenever somebody comes and restarts a team, we can capture that information. And then in this report that says 2012 teams that have not yet returned, we have a report that will pull all of last year's teams that have not come back and registered yet. The reason I keep getting questions about this is let's go in and show you. I'm going to go and run this report. On the first step of every report writer report you run, there's this filter step. And sometimes it's already pre-populated and you don't need to do anything. And sometimes you do have to do something. You can see right here it says event is a selected value. So this is an event filter. It's asking me which event I want to report on. You can see the value next to it is blank. So I need to click Edit under Actions and choose an event to report on. Okay, but this is saying I want to look at 2012 teams that haven't returned. Logically, I might think I need to choose a 2012 event to report on. Convio is not so logical sometimes. So this is actually looking to the 2013 event. So whenever you run this report, you're going to choose your 2013 event to report on. Otherwise, it's going to pull like no data. It's going to give you an error that says there's no data for this report. So make sure when you're running this report, you choose 2013. Then I just click next and keep clicking next or jump ahead until it tells me I can run my report. I'm going to run that report. Okay, so now it looks like I'm on the report results tab, right? So this is a report results page. In Report Writer, it's going to show me automatically, look, all of my information for this report is showing up on screen. Sometimes you'll also get an error on the screen. If it's a very large report, it will say the report results are not available at this time. Please return to the report results tab later. And what that's asking you to do is come back up here and click on the report results tab again to take you back to this list of recently run reports. So I hope that makes sense. Sometimes it looks like you're on the report results tab. There's a difference between looking at the report results for a given report and then the reports list. So if you ever get that message, just click report results again. So here we are. We have our list of all of our, the nice thing is you can automatically see on screen how many teams have not come back last year. So 172 teams are going to be in this report. I can view it on screen or I can download it. So let's take a quick download and open in Excel. Here we go. So now I have this lovely list of all of my teams from last year who have not come back. There is a little gotcha here. We know that people in Convio, whenever they go back to the WALK website and they register again, they don't always follow our rules, right? They either change their email address or there's a new team captain or, we know not everybody comes back and logs in with last year's information and continues registration the quote-unquote proper way that Convio wants you to do it. So this list is showing you people that haven't come back in the proper way. So what I encourage you to do, if you're going to use this list to do call downs, it's nice because you have the previous team captain name, email address, and phone number right here. So it's a great list for call downs. I encourage you to also run a report of all of your currently registered walkers and just do a quick cross-reference. So before I give Annie a call, I'm going to do a Control F and find in the registration report and see if Annie's registered already, just to make sure I'm not calling her and bugging her and she's already registered. It's one of those flaws in the Convio logic. So this add to group functionality. So in Convio, all of our constituents are organized into groups here under Constituent 360 and then groups. That's what we use in order to email people. Those are our email audiences and things like that. So if you do have something like an email audience that you want to do, say you want to email all of your $0 walkers, you can run that $0 walker report, wait for it to finish, and click Add to Group. And then it's going to allow you to create, this one says team captains because it was a team captain report, but it'll walk you through the process of actually creating a new group in Constituent 360, and then you can use that group as an email audience for an email that you want to send out. So the sponsorships piece I wanted to touch back on as well. So as I mentioned, there's this sponsorship report in there. What this looks like when you run it and download it is this. It's just a list. It's just a list of all of your sponsorships. It's nothing fancy. It just says how much the sponsorship was, the gift category is sponsorship, and then the company names in the last name field, exactly how you entered it. So it's a nice quick way to look at your sponsorships. If you're crunched for time and you don't necessarily want to run a report, you can still come back into Convio and go into your team raiser and click Manage to manage one of your events. From this screen, if you look across the top, there are these great green tabs here at the top. I'm going to click the Event Gifts tab. This is any donation or sponsorship that has come in on behalf of the event itself, not on behalf of a team or participant. So if I click Event Gifts, all of your sponsorships are listed as event gifts. Now, there may be some other donations in here that people have made on behalf of the event. You can see there's some, proper names in here, but all of your sponsorships are here too. So Metropolitan Hospital, Mackin Realty, Pines Nursing Home. It's a nice quick way to come and look and see if you've entered the sponsorships yet and what date you entered them on. So just a quick tip there.